So I'm feeding the extension lead above the grass where possible so it doesn't get too wet from the dew tonight. I'll just leave that there. So let's put some sacking underneath the telescope, like so, maybe fold it in half. And then get the two power supplies. And we'll lay them on the sacking. So these are Power Tech. Power Tech, it doesn't say much more about them on here. Here we go. They lithium ion batteries, 155 watt hours. Alrighty, so we'll put that over there. Okay, so we'll lay out the multi-board extension, plug it in into the extension lead, plug the power supply to the batteries to keep them charged. So plug that in, and then into the batteries. Good. Leave the power switched off for the moment. So this is the dew controller, what is it? It's a standard dual channel controller by Kendrick. So we'll get the Kendrick dew controller and lay it down here. Plug that in to one of the power supplies and we'll have it on max. Kendrick made in Canada. Right, so we put that round. Main tube. And we stretch the Velcro across so we've got a nice tight fitting. And then we connect the other side into the controller. Put that into there. And back into camera. And this one we'll wind around the finder scope to stop it getting dewy. And again, we'll hook it up to the Kendrick controller, like such. Coming back into camera again. Okay, so let's plug in the adapters first. So plug those into the power supplies. One in the first power supply, one in the second power supply. Now let's just do the cables one by one. So first of all we have this cable, which I think goes to the mount, to power the mount. So plug that in. Now plug it in so the little light points downwards. Otherwise it's distracting having all these lights everywhere. And this will go into the mount. And there's a little knurled ring which we just screw on and try not to cross thread. There we go. So that's a power supply for the mount. Now, what's the next one? I'm not quite sure, it's not labelled, I'm just going to leave it to the side. I think that might be a spare cable. So this one now is for the ASI Air. Again with the cigarette lighter adapter. So let's plug that in. Again with a little LED pointing down. Come up. Just put a little wire tie down there to keep it safe. In the front of the camera, that's better. Good. Now this is the ASI Air cable, power cable. So no doubt this is very tedious to watch. And we'll plug that into the battery, like that. And that goes into the ASI Air. And we've got a little elastic band to try and make sure it stays in place. That's a little antenna so that the ASIA can talk to the iPad through Wi-Fi. For the telescope, like such. That should protect it from the dew. We'll put on the ground over here so that I've got something to sit on when making adjustments for the polar alignment. Okay, there we are. So, I think we're ready for tonight's viewing. All we're going to need to do is switch on the power, fire up the iPad, and get started with polar alignment and focusing.